If you want to be a real gangster in Europe, buy this car. Hello everyone and welcome back to our automotive channel where we discuss all about European cars. Today we have here 2012 Audi Q7. Audi Q7 was manufactured from 2005 until now. It has two generations and the second generation was introduced in 2015. In 2009, the first generation underwent a facelift. Facelift was so minor that non-car guys couldn't even recognize it from the pre-facelift. You could pick from 6-cylinder engines to the much bigger V12 engine. However, the V12 wasn't the best or the quickest Q7 because if you know Audi, then you probably recognize that their sports cars are called RS, and also the Q7 got its own RS version called RS Q7. However, if you couldn't afford RS Q7, you could pick also very buff but a little bit cheaper SQ7. The Q7 was typically made as a 5-seat car. However, if you had a huge family, you could pick a little bit bigger 7-seat Audi Q7.
You could get Audi Q7 Quattro drivetrain and also S-line. It featured sporty rear and front bumper, sporty suspension and different interior.
When you approach the Q7 from behind, you can notice the signature taillights from the 2000s. If you look closely, you can notice that they are not in the body, but they are in the trunk. Now, you are stranded on the side of the road and you have to open your trunk. So you have your hazard lights on, but you need to open your trunk and your taillights disappear. What happens next? Well, if you open the trunk, you can notice the hazard lights start blinking at the bottom. Audi Q7 has air suspension, so that means the ride comfort is much higher than with the normal suspension. However, Audi came with a special feature. When you come with your groceries to your car and they are too heavy and you can't lift them up, you can simply press a button and whole car comes down. Now it's much easier to load up your groceries. And when you're done, you press one more button and the car comes back up.
Q7 is quite big. You have a big head space, big leg space. You have a big space overall. You have this beautiful middle panel here for armrest and cup holders, which you can push back. And also this middle panel is foldable, so you can put like skis or something tall. You also have sunshade, so people don't see in the back, or you have shade from the sun, as the name implies. In the door you have removable ashtray. Here in the middle you have very beautiful air vents and two outlets for the car charger and little space here for some small things. Right? And in the high-end Audi Q7, instead of this empty space here, you have a climate control for the back, so you can adjust the temperature, AC and other stuff. You also have air vent in the B pillars on both sides. You have the usual electric windows So as you can see, the front has typical Audi design. You have many things here. You have your cup holder. It's very important if you're a businessman, because you need to have your Starbucks somewhere. And if you are very posh, you have another cup holder for another Starbucks. You have your main radio control here. You control radio with this dial, and it's for buttons, for another options. You can choose between radio and another from media. You also have your navigation here, your hands-free, other stuff. You have your basic climate control here for AC, heating front and back window. You also have this very amazing part here, which is electrically controlled seats, with also memory for 2 options. So we have 2 drivers drive this car. Each one can have its own option for the front seat. You can also start the car with or without the key, so you don't need to put it in ignition. You just step on the brake, push the button, the car is on. Same with the turning engine off. Another part of the driving is you have adaptive cruise control. Also we have ABS, traction control. So I want to take my gloves from the glove box, but no handle. So what you do, you go here, press this neat button, and the glove box is open. Audi has this multimedia, so not only you have your radio and your phone, for example, but you also have 2 slots for SD cards and also entry for the CD. So Audi Q7 is pretty big car. You have a lot of head space, leg space, so you feel very comfortable in it. It is very comfortable materials, the seats are very comfortable. It has electronic settings for the seats, so you can have a pretty much comfortable setting for a back, for a bottom. The handling of the vehicle is very comfortable. The nice leather steering wheel. The car has air suspension, so all the unevenness, bumps and other stuff, you can't barely feel it. Acceleration of this car is very nice, very quick, and also with the braking. So if you need to brake very quickly, see, very fast, very comfortable, no sudden froze. Overall, it's a very comfortable car to drive. It doesn't matter if it's long or short distance. You will have a good ride. Audi is also diesel, so the engine is loud, but you can barely hear it in the cabin. Even if you go in high speeds, you can barely feel it. So right now I'm going over 100 and I can barely feel it on the steering and such. Well, if you are a movie enthusiast, you can often see this car as a car of the gangster or the mafia. So if you drive this car, you also feel like a mafia boss.
Comes down to our rating. The car looks very good. It's very fancy and very nice. So that's very cool. Comfort in the car, very nice, very good, very epic. You can't hear a thing, you can't feel a thing. It's very cool. But in the end, it's a luxury car, so what can we expect else? Yes? Reliability. Bro. Bro. Well, it's an Audi, and Q7 was not an exception for bad reliability, but the Q7 took all its competitors, and we can say that Audi Q7 is not a reliable car. Accessibility. Accessibility. Well, it was very expensive car back then, so not a lot of people bought it, and it's still pretty expensive car considering its age and condition. And on that note, if you like this video, consider hitting the like button, subscribe, and bye!